I think you're right to think they have stability. And I'm really fascinated by the heartbreak factor. And it brings me to the Chiefs, but also, I mean, the Lions, Buffalo up there. Like, you've lost a Super Bowl. I'm doing this broadcast for YouTube with Cam Newton, who lost a Super Bowl. Like, what does that do to you? You know, like that first game
Hmm.
back, just in a vacuum week one. Is there a little extra something there, Gronk? Can you
There's
remember?
always a little, there's always a little extra something after you lose a Super Bowl. And it's actually the reason why I went back to the New England Patriots, because I was contemplating retirement when we lost to the Philadelphia Eagles that whole entire season. And then when we lost that Super Bowl, and I actually got traded that season, and I declined to trade and pretend to
Yeah.
retire just because I didn't want to go to Detroit. I wanted vengeance. I wanted to come back to New England and be a part of this organization again here for at least another year and
Wow.
prove that that loss to the Philadelphia Eagles was just a fluke and that we're going back to the Super Bowl and we're going to win it all. So I was extra hungry. I was so hungry, Kay, that I retired just so I wouldn't get traded so I can come back to the Patriots and win a Super Bowl. And that's what happened. That was the whole entire goal, was to get back to the Super Bowl after we lost to the Eagles, because I knew if we made it to the Super Bowl and won, I could walk away from the game and be totally satisfied. And that's what happened with my first retirement, which was really cool.
Wow, that's crazy. That
Hmm.
your whole history is just absolutely bananas. I saw Tom yesterday doing like the fake Lombardi toss, and I was like, you two are just like, you can't write the story of the NFL without like frickin' frack Tom and Gronk and what you guys were
Hmm.
able to. I feel like we still don't get what you guys were able to pull off with all of those Super Bowls. It's unbelievable. But that brings me to Patrick Mahomes, who plays here Friday night, global audience, YouTube, first of its kind, division matchup right out the gate. And what did that loss do to him is a question that's in my mind. I wouldn't ask him. I think they like threw that out and they're full steam ahead. But like, what does that kind of a loss do to a Patrick Mahomes, you know?
I mean, a quarterback that is the best in the league, a guy that is just a competitor on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. I mean, he's going to be fierce. He's got some fire inside him now. You know, when you're winning games, you just feel like you're coasting for a little bit. Then all of a sudden you get smacked in the face. That's going to wake you up even more. Patrick Mahomes is coming back with some vengeance this season. And if you saw him in the preseason game, I'm pretty sure he was one of the only starting quarterbacks to play 2 games this year, get time in 2 games, because he
Hmm.
wants to have that chemistry with his new teammates, with the guys, so they can go out there in week one and just be absolutely dominating like they were all of last year in 2024, besides in the Super Bowl game. So I think he's going to come back with some fire coming out of his head, and he's going to be one of the top dogs once again, and he's going to stay up there.
I think you're the only person that has come on this show, and there's like three guests a day that has picked. You picked the Chiefs, right, to win the West.
Yes, I sure did. Hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Because Joe Montana left him off of his list of quarterbacks, I believe, on Pat McAfee's show yesterday. He picked the top three quarterbacks he'd start a franchise with, excluding Brock Purdy. And he picked Allen, Burrow, Herbert, Hurts. I'm seeing, lots of people not picking Patrick. Or Colin Cowherd saying is he is more of a system guy, or not. He didn't say that. Sorry, he said that he got put into the perfect situation for him to thrive. It's not like punches at Patrick, but it kind of feels like we're forgetting him or something potentially,
I mean, I think it's all because of what happened in the Super Bowl last year that everyone's kind of jumping
which
off
is
the
fair.
bandwagon tip. It is fair, but it was only 1 game. Just truly think about it. I've had plenty of losses in my NFL career. Well, not plenty, but every once in a while where we would lose by 21 points and get blown out. It just happened to be on the biggest stage in the Super Bowl game. I'm not ever going against Patrick Mahomes. I have before. I bet against him. I picked against him, and he always proved me wrong. Especially in the prior 2 Super Bowls, I actually picked the other teams to win, and he won both of those games. But I can't go against Patrick Mahomes until it's proven that he can beat on a continuous basis. Everyone's going to get beat every once in a while and get their butt beat as well. Get pounded, absolutely pounded. It happens. It's the NFL. Everyone's good, but it's about getting beat on a consistent basis, and he has never been beat on a consistent basis. So once that starts happening, I will jump off of the Patrick Mahomes bandwagon as one of the best QBs in the NFL. And I don't think that's going to happen because he's too skilled, he's too experienced, he knows how to adjust to the games that he's playing in, and he knows how to win as well. He knows how to win with the guys that are around him, and he has a great coach in Andy Reid to help support him, win those close games.
I mean, there was a 10-year stretch where Tom did not win a Super Bowl. You were, sort of there for that. Were people just bored, piling on, like they thought he
Mhm.
couldn't do it, and then he went and won four more?
Well, it wasn't the board factor. And if you look at those years, they were competitive every year. We were winning um, the AFC East division on a daily basis, and we
Mhm.
were competing for Super Bowls every single year. Even the years I wasn't there and they weren't going to Super Bowls, they were still the first seed, second seed. It wasn't like they were wild cards going into the playoffs and just being lackadaisical, throughout the whole entire season. It's just that they got beat by better teams in the playoffs. But every single year, they're putting a product that was competing for a Super Bowl. It's just so hard to win a Super Bowl. So that 10-year hiatus, we went to two Super Bowls, '07 and '11, and lost to the Giants both times. It just proves that it's that hard to win the big game and to even get there. So it happens. Okay, it just does. But if you're showing that you can compete on a daily basis and you have a championship team, then it shows how good of a player you really are.
When I sat with him, not during training camp, but maybe like a month before, so before training camp was start, he was just like, I just want to get back on the field. I just want to get back. I want it to be like back to football. He also told me that he's developed a friendship with Tom Brady. Or I don't know if you'd call it a friendship, but he said that have some sort of a relationship, and he like body language like lit up about it. I'm trying to figure out like what that means, like what that does that change something? What does that really add? As I'm thinking like obviously Tom with the Raiders, like he's injecting something, like he's just a winner, right? So then I'm trying to think like with Patrick, what kind of what like boost in the video game does having Tom in your ear potentially give you?
You can just pick Tom's brain whenever you have a question about a situation that's out there, because there's so many situations in football, and Tom's been through basically every single one. So just to give him a little text or something, a little phone call, ask him about those situations and learn from him, can just boost your game just a little bit. And just being a little bit better on a daily basis is what keeps you in the championship runs. Is what keeps you a great player. Is always trying to learn, and especially learn from the guys that been there before, the guys that are older than you, that been through all the situations. And Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, I wouldn't say would have had this relationship while they were facing off versus each other. I know Tom too well. He's too competitive. It's not like he's going
Ah,
to give
yeah.
tips to a guy that he's playing versus on a daily basis. But it's kind of like, I don't want to speak for Tom, but I'm going to speak for myself in this situation. Like, I don't want to give tips to any other tight ends out there while I was playing. I mean, unless if they're in like another division and they weren't really like my rival or on the rival team that I'm going against on a daily basis. But like
I hear you.
now that I'm older and now that I'm retired and I'm not playing anymore, like I want to help out these young bucks. I want to help out these tight ends out there because I'm seeing the game differently. I'm not actually playing in the games anymore and being competitive and trying to win on a daily basis. It feels like that's just part of your duty once you're done playing is to help the young bucks and help the guys that are playing and just explain what situations you've been in, help them wherever you can help them at.
I don't know that you've ever given Travis Kelce a tip. He's certainly not a young buck. He certainly doesn't need any
Hmm.
advice. But he'll be in this game. By all accounts, he looks better out there. Andy Reid saying, he looks like he did when he was a rookie. There's all of this talk. What are your and obviously so Jalen Royals isn't playing. Rashi Rice is out on this one. Hollywood Brown is banged up. They've got Pacheco. They've got they've got Thornton. They've got a couple guys that Patrick can throw the ball to. But I imagine that Travis Kelce will be featured a lot in this game. What are your expectations? Like, what does your gut tell you about the kind of season he's going to have?
I feel like it's going to be similar to last year. I mean, he had about what 95 to 100 catches last year. I don't know exactly the right amount of catches he had, spot on, but he's going to be up there with being the safety blanket for Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes needs that, especially when he's scrambling around the pocket. He needs to find his most reliable guy, in his career, in Travis Kelce, if it's within 5 to 10 yards, so he can just flip it over to him and get out of the scrambling situation so he doesn't get sacked for negative yards. And that's huge momentum to build off of as well as an offense. So I don't see Travis going down the field and making, huge plays, 30-yard chunks, 40-yard chunks like back in his heyday. But I see him being very, very reliable on first down, just to move the ball down the field, 5, 10, 15 yards down the field, and also third and short, and being very reliable to gain a first down. Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is his last year? Like, are we, as I'm watching him here open up the season in Brazil, is it sort of like this could be it kind of thing? Just hearing how you said you wanted to unretire, like, what if he was going to retire if they won and then they got beat the way that they did and now he's back? Like, I wonder if this is precious swan songy time for Travis. What do you think?
Yeah, that could be the same situation. I haven't talked to him about that or anything, but like myself, I lost that Super Bowl. I didn't want to go out with that bad taste in my mouth. I came back and we beat the Los Angeles Rams in Super Bowl 53, which was my last game for the New England Patriots. This could possibly be the same type of situation for Travis Kelce. It's incredible that he's still playing at this high of a level. Okay, he's my age. I couldn't imagine myself going out there and getting banged up by linebackers and safeties and DNs and being able to do it on a weekly basis, at 36 years old. He's my age going out there. He's performing at a high level, making plays. I think it could possibly be his last year, especially if he produces, with solid numbers, produces on the field, helps the team out,
Yeah.
and they have a good run in the playoffs as well. I don't necessarily think they have to win the Super Bowl for it to be his last year, but if they definitely do that, I think it is his last year for sure. Then.
I think that's what sucks about the greatness that you both have
Mm-hmm.
achieved, and not even just you, respectively, the dynasties that you're a part of, is that it is a failure if you don't go to win the Super Bowl, isn't it? Wasn't it for you to not, like, if you guys missed I mean, that's the expectation, Gronk. The expectation for this Chiefs team is not win
Mm-hmm.
the division again and maybe like make it to the divisional round, or like, no, like you have to get to Santa Clara and beat whoever's on the other side, or
Mm-hmm.
it's a failure.
Yes, and there's about 5 teams that
Yeah.
are in that category, with the Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens, the Detroit Lions, the Philadelphia Eagles. If they don't repeat and they're not Super Bowl champions again, I mean, that kind of feels like a failure for the Philadelphia Eagles organization, which is just mind blowing to say. I mean, and also with the Kansas City Chiefs. So about those 5 teams right there, if they don't win the Super Bowl, it does kind of feel like a failure for the season. And that's why America loves the game of football,
I know
because
it's
it's
not
either win it
fair.
all or be a bust.
No, it feels so bad to even say. I hate it. I will say this just in. Mr. Roger Goodell, who was on the Today Show moments ago, said that Taylor Swift might do Super Bowl halftime. What? That would be a hell of a walk-off for Travis Kelce. Just saying.
That would be a heck of a walk-off, especially if he's playing the game. He wins the game, gets Super Bowl MVP, and she's done such an incredible job, Taylor Swift, as well, just bringing so many
Yeah.
eyeballs to the game, so many eyeballs to NFL, not just in America, but across the whole entire world. So I think it would be the most watched halftime show by at least 5, 10 million people, hands down.
I think it's so great that you are saying that it's impressive what he did. We're in a TV break, but we're still live on YouTube. Um, it's that all I'm hearing or seeing, because I'm preparing for this game, right? Like you're preparing for Fox. I'm looking at like what's going on with the Chiefs and the Chargers, and there's just a lot of his fall off last year. It was obvious to someone who doesn't even watch football. It's obvious, and like you're saying, instead, like no, it's actually impressive that he's doing what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. It is, because look, you got to factor your age into it, and the amount of use and abuse you've had throughout your NFL career. And that plays a big factor. And that's why you don't see guys going in their mid 30s. They're either out of the league or else they're not really producing at a high level. And he truly is producing at a pretty high level for what he has left in his tank. If you watch my career when I was 24 years old and you compared it to my career down in Tampa Bay, I was a shell of myself, but I was still able to produce and help out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and achieve what we needed to achieve. And that's what he's doing with the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, he's not going to make spectacular plays like he's 25, maybe once in a while, but not compared to the rate that he was doing it at. So it's just amazing. I mean, it really is. But everyone just expects an NFL player to be at peak physical form no matter what age they are. And that's kind of unfair. So if he just has 80 to 100 catches again, very reliable when needed, when his number's called, I think that's a great season for him, big time.
And his number's going to be called on Friday night. The Chiefs favored by 3. What do you got?
I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs because they have beaten, I think, the Los Angeles Chargers the last 7 games that they faced versus them. I know it's in another country, so that may just play a little factor if they're jet lagged a little bit, but they're both coming from the West Coast, so it's fair game. The only way I see the Chargers winning this game is if they absolutely dominate the line of scrimmage on the offensive side of the ball. They got to be able to run that ball. They need over 200 plus yards and over 2 touchdowns in the run game. The Los Angeles Chargers need, especially with their new toys at running back with their first round pick and Najee Harris. They got to just keep handing that ball, ground and pound, tire out the Kansas City defense. That's the only chance I see the Los Angeles Chargers have to beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Really well said. There's an NFC East battle tomorrow to kick it all off. It's happening in Philly. Reigning Super Bowl champions will kick it off with the Eagles. They're raising the banners ahead of the game against the Cowboys to start 2025. Sirianni said he didn't even know that that's happening and that the team is going to stay in the locker room for that ceremony. Now, you've raised a few banners in your day, my friend. How do you feel about that? Were you guys out there for ceremonies?
I mean, I can't even recall that, Kay. I mean, it was so long ago. It was over 6-7 years ago. I mean, I think they dropped the banner while we were running out of the tunnel.
Was that you?
For the
Hold
game.
on.
That was me.
Him?
That was when I was retired, actually.
Oh, you were retired.
After Super Bowl 53, and I came back. Gronk spiked it. They dropped the banner, and then the Patriots ran out of the tunnel and all that good stuff. But you're really focused on the game, and I really love what the Philadelphia Eagles are doing, staying in the locker room, not letting the distractions get to them. Yes, because it's more about the game. Dropping the banner is cool, but if you lose the game, guess what? Everyone's talking about the loss, not the banner. So just make sure you win the game, and then you can enjoy the banner dropping, and then you can also enjoy the win as well that night. And on top of it, Kay, as well, I really like what the Philadelphia Eagles are doing. They're eliminating all distractions because I feel like they were so distracted last year at the beginning of the year. They figured it out, started to eliminate those distractions, and they're continuing it going into this season, which is great to see. That's going to mean that they're going to possibly be repeat champions, or they're going to be right there to compete to be Super Bowl champions once again.
We love it. I'd love to see it. We like when tough things happen. Okay, we're going to do something. Speaking of tough, let's hit a little prop a shot here, okay? We're bringing it back. FanDuel Sportsbook loves it, so we're doing it wrong. Hamilton, get in here quickly, please. There's a lot going on FanDuel Sportsbook. Give us our first prop.
All right, so Cowboys, Eagles tomorrow night. Gronk, we're going to start with you as the challenger to Kay's title. The line for Saquon Barkley's rushing yards is 93.5. Does he go over or under that?
Yeah, Kay got lucky last year. I'm coming back, and I'm swinging for the fences. I'm going to hit some grand slams, and I'm going to take her down this year. But I'm going with Saquon Barkley to have over 93.5 rushing yards. He's continuing where he left off from last season. No doubt.
All right, Kay, we're looking at the Cowboys side. Now, CeeDee Lamb's line for receiving yards is 71.5. Are you taking the over or the under?
Oh, man. 71.5 is a little, disrespectful, I feel. A little conservative, right? They're going to have to throw a bunch in this one. CD is an elite wide receiver. They're going to have to keep up with Philly because we know they're going to put up points if Saquon's going to do it. I'm going to say CD clears that very easily. That was a layup, Hammy. Thank you.
All right, Gronk, back to you. Sticking with the Cowboys, Dak Prescott's line for passing yards is 248.5. Over or under?
He's going to be under. The Philadelphia Eagles defense is too strong. Their defensive line is too good. Their secondary, with my guy who had that interception last year, that cornerback again, just forgot his name.
Cooper DeJean?
Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, Cooper DeJean. He's coming out. He's quick. He's sturdy, and he's going to get an interception as well. Dak Prescott, not going to be a good day for the Cowboys. Under 248 yards passing.
Gronk is flexing. Gronk is Aiden Hutchinson out the gate, shot out of a cannon. Wrap it up, Hammy.
All right, okay, going to the other quarterback. Jalen Hurts' line for passing touchdowns is 1.5. So does he throw 2 tomorrow night or under that?
I mean, he's got to smash the over and shut everybody up. That's what I want, even though it won't shut anybody up. I'd like to see them stay in the locker room, do whatever you want, focus, schmocus, open it up a little bit. Let Jalen let it rip, okay? And I like the return there at plus 120 for him to hit that.
All right, Gronk, give me one anytime touchdown scorer for the Eagles.
I'm going to stick with, what I know, with who I know. I'm going with Saquon Barkley. He's going to have over 93.5 rushing yards, and he's also going to have an anytime TD score. It's hard to go against the reigning offensive player of the year who broke the rushing yards total record in regular season and playoffs. So Saquon Barkley, anytime touchdown.
All right, okay, one anytime touchdown scorer for the Cowboys.
I'll walk the plank here a little bit. I'll take a little bit of a risk. Gronk can play it safe here, round 1. I like this. I like George Pickens, the new ad. Hearing great things about how he's preparing. I think he wants to rewrite maybe some of the things of his lore of his past. None of it matters. Plus 200, by the way, amazing value on the old sports book. So Cowboys debut snags a nice like deep shot for a score, just to send a message. Micah, who? Okay, let's recap. I have CeeDee Lamb over 71.5 receiving yards. By the way, go put some on that, everybody. That is like a low, weird number. Jalen Hurts over 1.5 passing touchdowns, and George Pickens anytime touchdown scorer. And Gronk going with Saquon Barkley over 93.5 rushing yards. Dak Prescott under 248.5 through the air, and Saquon to get into the end zone. And Gronk, who wins this game?
I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be a disappointing night for the Dallas Cowboys. But Eagles, they're too strong on both sides of the ball, especially on the offensive line and defensive line. And when you can control the line of scrimmage, you're just dominant as a whole. So Philadelphia Eagles continue from last year. No Super Bowl hangover. They dominate the Dallas Cowboys.
Gronk, you are the absolute best. That was a lot. Thank you for sharing. Always insightful. You're the man. Appreciate you. Good luck on Fox. We'll all be watching.
Awesome, Kay. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you. FanDuel appreciates you.